In the last Magic 8 Ball program, we went over how you can have a while loop repeat until the user chooses to stop, until the user decides to input the word no, right? If they enter no, then this while loop is going to stop. If they enter yes, then this while loop is going to repeat over and over and over again. So now what I want to do is perform that same action of having a while loop repeat over and over and over again, but use a different Boolean expression here, one involving numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this program. And what the program is I called it increasing numbers. And what it's going to do is it's going to ask the user to enter in numbers. Let me write this down. Ask the user to enter in numbers once the total of the numbers is greater than 10, stop the program. Okay, so they're going to keep entering in numbers, and once the total of all of the numbers that they enter in is greater than 10, then we're going to stop the program. Okay, so it's not going to be based on whether the user enters in yes or no. It's going to be based on whether the total number is greater than 10. So how do we do this? Let's go ahead and take a look here and say, first we need to ask the user to enter in numbers. So we're going to say num is equal to input. And we are going to use input because they're going to enter in a number, not raw input. And I'm going to say enter a number. And now what we want to do is keep on doing this over and over again, right? We want to repeat it over and over and over again. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to say while, right? Because we don't know if it's going to take them 10 tries to get a total number greater than 10, or if it's going to take them one try to enter in a total number greater than 10. Okay. And so now the question is how do we get this Boolean expression in here to be equal to true if their total is less than 10? And if their total is greater than 10, then we want the Boolean expression to be false. So let's put here false when the total is greater than 10. Well, how do we do this, right? Well, if you think about it, what we need for this program is to calculate the total of all of the numbers, right? Checking if the total is greater than 10 is very simple, right? We could just use the greater than operator and say greater than 10. But calculating the total is kind of a problem. So let's assume that we put the total inside of a variable called total. Okay, and you can see it's underlined red. And what does that mean? Well, if I hover over it, it says unresolved reference to total. And that's code for there is no total variable. So let's go ahead and create a total variable and set it equal to its first value. And you can see here once we do, the underlined red goes away because now we have our total variable. What do we want to set it equal to when we first start our program? Well, what is the total total of numbers that the user enters in on their keyboard? Well, they haven't entered in any numbers on their keyboard yet, right? We run the program, it does line 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. Once it gets to line 5, has the user entered in any numbers on their keyboard? No. So what is the total of the numbers that they entered in on their keyboard? It's going to be 0. Okay. And now that we're here, it says is 0 greater than 10? Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta say less than, right? So keep on doing this while total is less than 10, right? So 0 is less than 10, that's true. So it's going to come in here and it's going to do line 8. Okay. Once we get into the body of the while loop, we need to change the value of total. Now, if they enter in a 5 here, then what do we want total to be equal to? Well, we want it to be equal to 5, right? So you might want to say, oh, okay, well then total needs to equal to num. And that would be true on the first iteration of the while loop, right? If they enter in 5, total should be equal to 5. If they enter in 3, then total should be equal to 3, and so on. But what about, let's go ahead and go through that program, okay? We run it, total is equal to 0. this is true. It comes in here, I enter a 3, total is equal to 3. Comes back up to line 7 and says, yes, 3 is less than 10, that's true. And it comes in here, and let's say next I enter in 5. Well, line 10 says total is now going to equal to 5. But we don't want it to equal to 5. We want it to be equal to 3 plus 5. We want it to be equal to 8. So we need to change line 10. We need to modify it. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to say, where is the 3? We know where the 5 is. The 5 is in this variable called num. But where is the 3? Well, if you notice here that the 3 is in the total variable. Right? We run the program. Let's start over again. Total is equal to 0. 0 is less than 10. That's true. Comes in here. I enter a 3. Total is equal to 3. Comes back up. Says, is 3 less than 10? Yes. I enter in another number. I enter in 5. And now I want to do 3 plus 5. Right? Well, where's the 3? The 3 is in total. The 5 is in num. So the way that we can do this is we could say total plus num. Okay, let's run through the program again using this strategy here. We come through, total is equal to 0, 0 is less than 10, I enter in a 3, it goes 0 plus 3, total is equal to 3, comes back up, says is 3 less than 10? Yes it is. I enter in a 5, and it does total plus num. Total is equal to 3, num is equal to 5, so now total is equal to 8. Come back up, 8 is less than 10, that's true. Let's say I enter in a 4. Now num is equal to 4, and it does total plus num. Total is equal to 8, num is equal to 4, so we get 12. Total is equal to 12, and it comes back up and it says, is 12 less than 10? No, that's not true. So it comes down to line 11, and we end our program. Okay. So let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, so we enter a number. I'm going to do 3, 5, and 4. Okay, and now at the end we probably want to print something out like the total of your numbers is. Right? So let's go ahead and print that out. Print out the total of your numbers is, and I'm going to do a plus sign, and I'm going to do str total. Okay. And let's go ahead and print this out. Let's do 3, 4, and 5, and hit enter. And now it says the total of your number is 12. So this is a program that keeps on going until the user enters in a total of numbers that's greater than 10.